All right, ladies and gentlemen, market update. Wow. Dude, it's just crazy how this checklist literally lets me avoid these losses day in, day out. I said, have price come back in here, give me a retest. Once I get my entry, I will have my fucking entry. My checklist told me not to enter. I did not have my entry signal. I simply did not take the trade, avoided this loss to perfection. We have natural gas. Called it perfectly that I was going to reject from this area, but it simply was not the perfect trade setup. Didn't have the best entry. It makes the most sense to have the break and retest from this area. So we're going to wait for price to give us that break and retest. I rather have a worse entry in terms of placement in the market, but I rather have a better confluence trade. If my trade checklist does not tell me it's the right time to trade, I will not trade. It is that simple. I'm not supposed to trade. I'm supposed to only trade when the market gives me a high probability trade setup. That at this point was not it. We have oil, which had a very clean push to the upside, but now seems like it's coming back to retrace into this area, and we're going to potentially be looking for an entry. GBPUSD. So we're interested in entering the sell. If I would have entered this sell here, I would have taken another loss. So I've saved myself taking 2 losses by simply sticking to my checklist and waiting for the best possible trade setup. Like, this is literally telling me when to enter and when to not enter. It does not get any easier than that. That's why I wait for these extra confirmations, because that's where the percentage of the grade of the trade will simply be higher, where it makes the most sense to enter the trade. So I saved myself from this loss, saved myself from this loss. And then AUDCHF was another one where I was borderline about to enter this trade. I even shared it inside of the Telegram where everybody's watching these trades, and I avoided me entering this loss. Like, this is a perfect example of the checklist once again saving us from entering the trade. I said I needed my engulfing. If you notice, I have not changed my alarm. It's been the exact same alarm that I placed on Sunday swings, and price did not break above this, so I simply did not take the trade and I avoided this loss. Like, this is showing the power of having a checklist that tells you when to enter and when to not enter. Wow. Avoided 3 losses so far on this week alone. Like, that to me is more powerful than anything. We have Euro USD, which I'm going to be waiting for a break and retest below this level to sell. USD CHF. I might be interested in buys at this area, but I'm not entirely sure yet. I'd be going against the majority of the trend, to be completely honest and completely fair. So got to see if it makes sense to take the trade here or not. AUDCHF is pretty much cooked, so I'm going to put this one all the way at the bottom. GBPUSD, still waiting for that break and retest in order for me to enter this trade. It's only Tuesday, so we still have plenty of time. I want to wait for that break and retest for us to enter the sell. Gold, if I get a clean reaction from this area, I'm going to be potentially interested in buying, but I need a clean reaction from here. I see the daily coming back to retest and reject this area. If this daily closes a bullish pin bar, I can very much anticipate for the next daily bullish candle to be continuation to the upside. I can see the 4-hour potentially creating a higher low and having a push up, but we're pretty much at the bottom of this area of interest, which is the furthest we can go if we're going to decide to have a push to the upside. If not, I'll just wait for a deeper break, retest, and then we'll enter the sell to the downside. Next, we have natural gas, which I'm just going to be waiting for this break. I'm going to be waiting for this break and retest to this neckline on natural gas to enter this sell. If my second trade in the futures market is another winning trade with a head and shoulders pattern, I'm going to flip this table upside down. That's all I can say. So yeah, that's the update for now. It is currently Tuesday at midnight. So it is Tuesday midnight right now, and heading into London session. Right now we're going to get into, well, I had my pilots are ready at 5:30 in the morning, so I might not sleep tonight, but I got my jet. We're going to Texas. I'm going to be hosting a private event with some of my students from my community. It's like a private meet and greet. It's a 2-day thing where the first day is just all value-based, Q&A, reviewing their trades, just honestly adding as much possible value that I can to my students in person. That's day 1. And then day 2, it's more of like a meet and greet. We're going to hang out, do activities, and just get to know each other on a personal level. And then we jet back to Miami Wednesday night, and we basically wake up here, so we're gonna catch a red eye. I love traveling at night because it's like a time travel. While I sleep on the flight, I'm moving to a different state or a different country, and when I wake up, I'm there. So to me, technically, I didn't even travel. And Thursday, we have track day where I'm going to take my M3 on the track, try and have the fastest time drifting throughout the whole track. And then on Friday, we have Jake Paul press conference, right? So pretty busy week, pretty crazy how it's like schedules just like bang, bang, bang. Everything's pretty consistent. So yeah, for now, we're going to try and see how I can incorporate me recording all of that I'm already doing, including with this trade update. So I'll keep you guys updated as best as I possibly can. I hope that these markets don't change, but this is my analysis if anything does change. I'm going to be waiting for all these markets to do exactly what I just explained now. So if I do an update on Thursday when I get back home, don't get mad, but I'm going to try my best to do it in the meantime. With that being said, we'll check back in.
Well, hello. Yeah, a little bit of a later update than I wanted to do, but I just haven't found the chance. Well, I could have right there. I had windows where I would literally have my computer and I would look at the memory where I store all these videos, and I'm like, well, I don't know if I want to do this right here. So I wouldn't do the updates, but we did record certain pieces. So either you guys already saw or are about to see me closing out Euro USD.
Alright, so we're going to be closing live right now.
Okay, can we do a quick five?
Go, ready? Alright,
Yeah.
so we're closing live right now at the fight. $400,000. Let's go, chat!
Inaugural face-off.
Let's go.
Heavyweight battle that is going down December 19th, live and
400 grand just today.
Breaking it down live in front of my students. And yeah, we just been on the run for like the last 6 days. We went to Texas for the 2-day event with my students, jet in, jet out. We went to the racetrack in Miami. Like, I came back to Miami just for the racetrack. We had pre-presser with Jake. Then we go to F1 Vegas. We're there for like 2 days, gambling hard. Come back to Miami, and now we're here. And I know this is like the following week, so this is going to be the closing of last week plus the beginning of this week. So without further ado, let's begin, shall we? So pretty much last week, my gold analysis ended up playing out pretty much to perfection, right? Gold played out to perfection. We have Euro GBP, which I'm actually interested in entering for this week, but I'll talk about that for this week. GBPUSD ended up having the move, but is now back around that break-even area where I'm actually interested in entering this trade. GBPAUD, it was not a last week's trade. AUDCHF was not a last week's trade. I know last week's trade was just a Euro USD. So long story short, I can't even talk. Euro USD was basically gonna sell off from this high right here, and actually closed this right on Friday, which was perfect. So I closed this trade right around here on Friday, but I'm still holding it on one of my other accounts. Let me see how it's looking. Not the best, honestly. What's my swap? Okay, my swap is just $200. Okay. Yeah, so I'm still holding one of these positions on my other account just because I wanted to swing it, and haven't held a position for a weekend in quite a while, and everybody asked me all the time, so I just do it. But yeah, basically this sold off, closed right at here, right at market close on Friday, and yeah, trade happened perfectly. I'm waiting for continuation sales this week and much more from all these other markets. On natural gas, we basically avoided this loss because once we had the break of this neckline, once price was having that retest, the retest never slowed down, so we never entered the trade. Oil, we were interested in buying, but once the trade came into this area, we did not take the trade. And SPX 500, we've been waiting for this upcoming week. Yeah, pretty much the only reason why I'm getting on here is just to update Euro USD. Honestly, it was a beautiful trade, happened perfectly, zero drawdown, everything to the T. And we have hundreds of students that took it live on that Texas event, and we were able to maximize it for a 1 to 2 for last week. I'm trying to see if we can get more without having to add any more risk. So yeah, I wish I had more of an exciting update. But the truth is that I'm tired. I have to kind of wake up now in order for me to open up next week's trade breakdown video, because I do see some pretty interesting trades for next week. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. If you guys want to know more about these trades, see how I do this shit live with my students pretty much every single week, Link is in the description below. If you want to join, be part of a winning community, it's there. If you don't want to, well, you just don't want to. That's entirely up to you. And all I can say is we do this every single week. Market gives us opportunities every single week. And every single week, you're now at the forefront of the markets with the right strategy, with the right checklist, with the right execution. Is another week wasted in capitalizing off of these opportunities. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to see if I can... Should I even do this right now? No. I'm going to save this for next week. Yeah, we're going to do 2 separate videos because I'm going to explain why I'm going to be interested in entering this trade right now and much more. By the way, right, I just really want to show this right now. You know, there is some types of flex and then there's like other types of flex, right? This type of flex that I'm about to do right now is probably the most ridiculous type of flex. Like this is just fucking next level. There is this student inside of the community that literally inside of his wedding he gave some I don't know if I want to post it, but he literally got married and shouted me out in his wedding. I have to do it.
Oh no, I love public speaking. I just want to thank everyone for coming out. By the way, special shout out to my day trading coach, Alex G. He's not here tonight, but I appreciate him. Alex G, this one's for you, man. We're going to go to the top, baby. But yeah.
The fact that someone is shouting me out on their fucking wedding is showing the impact that I'm having on their life, and that is crazy to me. I don't know. I've been to many weddings, and I know those moments are very special and memorable, and that I'm at the forefront of that is insane to me. So I just wanted to show you guys that, to show you what type of quote we have in the community and the results and the impact that we're having on people all around the world. So I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, week, night, wherever you're watching this, from the toilet, from the shower, from the car, from at work. Know that it's all okay as long as you have a good trading strategy, and most importantly, set and fucking forget. See you guys next week. Take care, guys.